and welcome to my 3 a.m. diaries. And today's topic is how to build your credibility currency when you're a creative or an entrepreneur. And I thought this was really important because when you're starting something out, you don't necessarily have the footprint. Like, people don't know what you're about. Like, in a nutshell, why should they trust you? Or what have you done that gives people confidence either in your product or your service? So I just wanted to talk about a few things that you can do to build that credibility currency. So one of the ideas to consider is saying yes to as many things as you can. And a lot of the times that will be yes to free things. So giving away your goods and services for free. And look, I know that will not sit well with many people because you'd be thinking, look, I'm going into business to make money, not to lose money. However, if your intention is to build credibility, then it's not about the 1 to 10 people who've experienced your service and given some sort of review. In this day and age, that will not suffice. You need to get your brand in front of as many people as possible and for them to interact and review your product, whether good or bad. So if it's good, that's fantastic, then you're doing something right. If it's bad, that's not the end of the world because that means there's room for improvement. So you just listen to that feedback and then improve on your product or service. And the thing that I'd like to emphasize here is just because you're doing something for free doesn't mean that you have to do it in a mediocre way. People shouldn't be able to tell the difference between the free product and something that they paid full retail value for. And that's where your building your credibility comes in because they'll experience it to the full capacity of how you intended your brand to be presented. The next idea I want to put forward to you is be professional. Being a creative, people have this idea that, we are happy-go-lucky, go with the flow kind of thing, which really does not help when you're trying to build your credibility. It's fun in a social setting because then you're the life of the party, people want to be around you. But when you're trying to build a business, that does not serve you at all. So little things, communicate on time, do what you say you're going to do, show up as professional as possible, let your presentation be impeccable and to brand as well because that's how people begin to identify you and they see something and they associate that with you. And that goes a long way towards building your credibility. The last idea I wanted to share with you is establishing yourself as a subject matter expert in your field. And there are several ways you can do this. You could either share what you're currently reading, share articles by other authors. You could create your own content, either blogs or YouTube channel. You could also share different industry events that you're attending. And essentially what this does is it shows your audience that you are current, you are relevant, you have an opinion about your industry, and it goes a long way in establishing who you are as a creative, as an entrepreneur, and also building your credibility because to be able to do these things, it means you know what you're talking about. And a quick example is when I first started doing head wraps a few years ago and I wanted to establish myself in that space. So I started out by doing a 30-day head wrap challenge where I was doing different ways of tying head wraps. And what that did for me is it taught me, got me deeper into this head wrap world in terms of, okay, what lengths do the fabrics need to be? What can the fabric do? What fabrics do the best sort of, say, updo, So it gave me so much content and knowledge on the fabric such that each time after that, whenever I do a tutorial, I'll be able to talk to, if the fabric has works, then you can expect it to behave in this way and not that way. And so slowly I started establishing myself as the subject matter expert on head wraps. And I say all this not to say that I know everything there is to know about head wraps, but to say that in that journey of doing all these things, I'm able to confidently speak on head wraps and what fabrications I can and cannot use and that type of thing. And there's still a long way to go, but that's the beauty of the journey. So in conclusion, the 3 ideas that I shared with you about how to build credibility is: number 1, get your brand in front of as many people as possible, even if it's for free, because this gives you an opportunity to show what your brand is, to communicate your brand story. Number 2 is be professional in every single interaction, even when you're providing your goods and services for free. And number 3, establish yourself as a subject matter expert. Cool, that's it for me for today, and hope to hear your thoughts on it. And thank you so much to everybody who's been commenting, leaving some feedback. It's really encouraging, and if there's anything you want me to touch on, would love to hear from you. Cool, ciao.